All right. So, children, in the previous class, we had seen five different, five main rivers. We also saw about lakes. Now, let us study more about Africa, the factors which are affecting the climate of Africa. Okay. So now, basically, the equator passes through Africa, and therefore, it is dividing the entire continent into northern and the southern parts. Each of which has opposite seasons at any given time. Also, a major part of Africa lies within the tropics, therefore, it experiences a hot climate. So basically, we all know that equator passes through the Africa to the center, and that's the reason what is happening. It is dividing it into northern and eastern parts, and and not just that, and because of that, the climate is very opposite to each other, whether it is in the northern or the southern part. Now, let us understand what are the different factors which are affecting the climate of Africa. The first factor is the latitude. Now, let us understand how latitude affects the climate of Africa. Most of Africa lies in the torrid zone and receives the direct rays of the sun. This causes the temperatures to be high all the year round. Okay, the equatorial regions experience convectional rainfall throughout the
Ma'am is hang.
Yeah.
Ma'am got disconnected.
Ma'am is not still disconnected.
Ma'am.
With the mute. Samriddhi as a whole. Should we continue or wait?
Wait. Wait for 5 minutes.
Wait.
Ma'am,
I'll just repeat once again whatever I was saying because I got disconnected. So basically, latitude, as we all know that Africa lies in the torrid zone, and just because Africa is lying in the torrid zone, what happens in the torrid zone? Usually, the sun's rays are directly. The torrid zone is receiving sun's rays directly, and therefore the climate in the torrid zone will be high or low, children?
Hi.
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 So the equatorial regions, that's the reason, the equatorial regions experience conventional rainfall throughout the year, okay, as the temperature is usually high. Altitude, now let's understand what is altitude. Most of Africa is a plateau above sea level. The lowlands, please make a note of it. Most of Africa is having what? A plateau region, okay, that is above the sea level, and the lowlands have a higher temperature than places on the plateau due to their altitude. And Mount Kilimanjaro, this is very, very important. You can encircle it in your notebook that Mount Kilimanjaro is very near to the equator, okay, but its summits are snow-clad due to its altitude. All right, so please underline this. Basically, in altitude, you need to remember that most of Africa is a plateau which is above sea level, and therefore the lowlands are having higher temperature in the plateau region, and Mount Kilimanjaro is near to the equator. Now, water bodies, we all have studied about water bodies of Africa. Five
Yes,
main
ma'am.
rivers. Yes,
Yes,
I hope
ma'am.
you all remember that.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, Africa is surrounded by oceans and seas. As please underline that, and you can imagine how Africa would seem like. So basically, Africa is covered with oceans and seas, and the coastal areas experience maritime type of a climate in the moderate temperatures. The plateau region, however, being inland, experiences a greater range of temperature. So what happens is, since it is surrounded with oceans and seas, the coastal areas in Africa experience a marine type of climate. Please underline this. What type of a climate they experience? A type of a climate they experience with moderate temperature. And what is the reason? The reason is that because Africa is surrounded by oceans and seas. The plateau region is, however, inland, experiences greater range of temperature. Okay, and the plateau region is experiencing what? A greater range of temperature. What about the winds? Let's understand about the winds. Winds affect both temperature and rainfall. Do you all agree, children? Because
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
temperature gets affected, because of the wind, even the rainfall gets affected. So winds blowing from the sea carry what? Moisture, while winds blowing from land are dry. Okay, so this is also very clear to you all. See, when winds blow, what do? They carry moisture, isn't it? Winds blowing from the sea, the winds which blows from the sea, they carry moisture, while winds which is blowing from the land are dry. If you have seen the winds, experience winds near oceans and seas, and if you have experienced winds on a normal land, is there a difference in the wind?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, there is moisture in the wind which is near the seas, okay, or oceans. Now, trade winds. Now, winds are of different types. Just underline the trade winds. What does winds mean? Over here, the word trade itself is going to give you the hint about its particular meaning. It blow over most of the continent throughout the year, and their moisture laden winds bring rainfall to a large part of Africa. So your wind is doing the job of trading. What it is doing? It is blowing, okay, and over the continent, and what it is doing, because as it's blowing, it is carrying moisture along with it, and therefore what it is doing, basically it is bringing rainfall to larger part of Africa. All right, got this, everyone? Have you all understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's understand westerlies. Okay, the westerlies bring rain in winter to the extreme southern and northern parts. So what work does westerlies do in Africa? Who will tell me? It brings
And it brings rain in winter.
southern and northern
Where, which place it is
And
bringing?
to the southern and northern parts of Africa.
Very good. To the southern and the northern parts. Have you all understood this entire page, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next is some areas receive seasonal rains from the monsoon winds that blow over the continent from June to October. Okay, so we are basically talking about the rainfall of Africa. So what is happening? Some areas in Africa are receiving what? They are receiving seasonal rains from the
Monsoon winds.
winds. And what is the time? When do they receive
June
monsoon?
to October.
To October.
Okay, June to October.
October.
If you'll see the diagram, you will find the images given over here where the monsoon winds are carried, okay, from June to October. Now let's understand about ocean currents. An ocean current is a steady flow of surface water in a particular direction. Please underline, this is the definition of ocean current. What does ocean current mean? Ocean current is what? It is steady flow of surface water in particular direction. Okay, so the surface water of the ocean flows in a particular direction steadily. Okay, that is called as ocean current. Now, ocean current can be either warm or it can be either cool. Please underline that also, warm or cool. Now, winds that blow over the warm current pick up moisture, but winds which are blowing over the cool currents are generally dry. Okay, so this is but obvious. If the wind is blowing over the warm current, it is definitely going to pick up the moisture from the warm currents. But if the wind is blowing over the cool currents, what type of a wind it will carry? A dry wind. Okay, dry windings. Okay. Now, warm currents raise the temperature of the coast along which they flow. This is very important. You know, you might get a differentiation. They might ask you to write a differentiation between warm currents and cool currents. So what is, first of all, winds may get warm currents or cool currents. Now, if it is a warm current, or the first point what you have to remember is wind which is blowing over the warm current, it takes up moisture. All right. And wind which is blowing over the cool current, it is generally dry. This is the first point of differentiation. Second point of differentiation is warm currents are raising the temperature of the coast along which they flow. So whichever coast the warm currents flow, what they do, they raise the temperature. Okay, please underline. Warm currents raise the temperature. And on the other hand, cool currents bring down the temperature. Please underline that. This is the second point of differentiation. Okay, underline the first point also. Warm currents pick up moisture. Please underline that also. Second last line. Warm currents pick up moisture. And then, yeah. And then underline the other part also, that cool currents are dry. So these are two differentiations between, you all got 2 points? Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is the warm Agulhas and Mozambique current wash the southeast coast of Africa, raising the temperature and moisture between Mozambique and the island of Madagascar. Okay, please underline this. This word is very important. The island of Madagascar. Okay, so what is happening? The warm Agulhas and Mozambique current, which is flowing where? In the southeast of Africa. What are they doing basically? Who will tell me what they do?
Raising the temperature.
And
Moisture level.
moisture level of which area? Which area?
Between Mozambique and the island of Madagascar.
Yes, please underline that. So these currents, what are they doing? They raise the temperature and they're raising the moisture level. Okay.
Ma'am,
Raising temperature and raising moisture level. Next is
excuse me, ma'am.
the cool Benguela current washes the west coast of southern Africa, bringing down temperatures in that area. The cool Benguela current, it is doing what? It is washing the west coast of southern Africa,
Southern Africa.
and it is bringing down
The temperatures in that area.
temperatures of that particular area. Please underline cool Benguela current. Please underline this. And what work this cool Benguela current is doing? Who will tell me?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, we can
Yes,
say,
Mariam. Yes.
ma'am, it washes the west coast of the southern Africa, ma'am, and it brings down the temperature of the area.
Of that area. Very good. Now let us see another type of a current. So these are all the types, okay? The different types of current which we are doing. Another cool current is what? The Canaries current. Please underline this. The Canaries current. Now let's see what work does this current do. Okay. First, it flows along the northwest coast of Africa near Senegal. Okay. As the current flows around the Canary Islands, it helps to lessen the heating effect of the Sahara to the east. This is very important. Okay, so what particular work this particular current is doing? First of all, it is flowing where? In the northwest coast of Africa. And what it is doing? As the current is flowing, what it is helping? What is the work this current does?
Lessen the heating effect of the Sahara.
Very good,
The
very
heating
good, Saad.
effect of the Sahara.
Excellent, Saad. So it is lessening the heating effect of the Sahara, okay, to the east. So please remember, you might definitely get an objective questions, but either a 1 mark or any form. They might even ask you to answer in one sentence about all these different types of current, or they might even ask you to differentiate between a warm current and a cool current. Okay, so this is all about ocean current. Have you all understood ocean current, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
What are the
ma'am.
types? Who will tell me? Just tell me the names. Who will tell me what are the types of
Ma'am,
currents?
Tasha.
Yes, go ahead fast.
Ma'am, first is Agulas and Mozambique current.
Very good.
Second is Benguela current, and then is Canaries current.
Okay. Canaries current, what does it do?
Ma'am, it helps to lessen the heating effect of the Sahara Desert to the east.
Okay. Benguela current, what does this do? Maria?
Ma'am, it washes the west coast of southern Africa, ma'am, and it brings down the temperature in that area.
Very good. And Agulas and Mozambique current, what does they do?
Ma'am, may I tell?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, they raise the temperature and moisture levels between Mozambique and the island of Madagascar.
Yes, very good. Got it? Understood? All
Ma'am,
right.
Mozambique is a place, ma'am. That's why the current is named after the place,
Yes,
right, ma'am?
yes, after the place. Okay. Got it, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. Next page. All right. In June, now this is all about the climate and climatic conditions in June of Africa. Okay, we are basically seeing the climatic conditions of Africa. Now let us understand the climatic conditions of Africa in June. So the first is in June, the sun shines directly over the Tropic of Cancer, and so the northern part of Africa experiences higher summer while the south of the equator has winter. So can you see in the map it is given where is the sun directly shining, on which part, northern or southern? Who will tell me?
Northern.
And why do you think it is directly shining over in the northern parts? What is the reason?
Because the south of the equator has winter.
Very good, very good. Because of because the sun is basically shining directly over the Tropic of Cancer, okay, and that comes towards the northern part of Africa. Okay, that's the reason, you know what is happening. The northern part of Africa experiences what?
Summers.
Summers.
High
Very good.
summers.
It is experiencing summers. But what about the southern part of Africa? Can you see? It's, you know, shady. It's not shining. In the image also, it is given clearly. What is
And
the
it has
southern part?
winter.
Ma'am, it has
Winter. Please underline this. In June, sun shines over the Tropic of Cancer, and therefore what happens is northern part experiences high summer and southern part experiences what?
Winter.
Winter. Due to heat, a low pressure area is created over North Africa, which attracts the southwest monsoon winds from Guinea, bringing heavy rainfall. Rainfall decreases eastward. So what, see, as we all know, in the northern part, what is happening? There is a lot of sunshine. Now, just because there's a lot of sunshine, there's heat over there, what will happen? It is bringing monsoon winds. And because of monsoon winds, what is happening? What is monsoon?
Heavy
Heavy rainfall. Very good. It is getting heavy rainfall. Please underline this. Due to heat, okay, over the North Africa. Due to heat over the North Africa, monsoon, it is attracting what? The monsoon winds. Please underline monsoon winds. And because of the monsoon winds, what is happening? They are having heavy rainfall. Okay. But the rainfall is decreasing eastwards. Okay. So now this was all about the northern part. Now let's see what is happening at that time in the southern part of Africa. Okay. In the month of June. In the southern part of Africa, experiences rain by westerlies around Cape of Town. Please underline this. Okay, this is all monsoon winds are received in the northern part, and that's the reason they are having heavy rainfall in the northern part. But what is happening in the southern part? Who will tell me? Yes, Mariam.
And the southern part experiences the rain, ma'am.
Yes, and from where this rain comes in the southern
West
part?
line.
Ma'am, from the westerly.
westerly.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now this was all about the June climate, okay, of Africa. Now let us see the December climate of Africa, the climatic conditions in Africa in the month of December.
December.
Okay, now in December, what happens is the sun now shines directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Please, can you make out the difference? Here it is not mentioned Tropic of Cancer, it is mentioned Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so this is the difference. The part of Africa south of the equator experiences summer, while the North Africa has winter. Can you make out the difference? What is the difference over here in December? It's exactly the opposite what happens in June. Do you all agree, children?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So in December, the northern part experiences winter, whereas the southern part experiences
Summer.
Summer.
underline that. And that happens why? Oh, because now over here, the sun is directly shining over the Tropic of Capricorn and not over the Tropic of Cancer. Clear? This is very important.
Yes.
Now, the low pressure area now shifts to the south, attracting the southeast trade winds from the Indian Ocean, which will bring rainfall from the east. Rainfall decreases westward. So what happens is now the low pressure area, okay, now shifts to the south, okay, and therefore what is happening? It is attracting the southeast trade winds and from the which is coming from the Indian Ocean, and therefore it is bringing rainfall in from the east. Okay, and rainfall decreases towards the westward. Okay, so it is exactly the opposite of June. Can you all make out?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
In December, whatever is happening in June, it's completely opposite. Over here, see, in June, when do they receive rainfall? First, tell me, June, where do they receive rainfall?
I'm in the southern part.
In the
Southern part.
Okay, and what about December?
Ma'am,
The northern
The northern
northern
part.
part.
What is happening? Just because there is a shift of low pressure to the south. So what is happening here? The southeast trade winds comes from Indian Ocean and they are bringing rainfall. Here, over if you see towards the this thing, June part. If you will see, who brings rainfall over here? It is the
Westerlies.
southwest. Yes, southwest monsoon winds. Can you see? And here it is southeast trade winds. This is the difference. So, just because over here the winds are coming from the southeast, so where will be the where the rainfall will decrease?
Westward.
In the west.
Westward. And which part will receive rainfall then? The east part.
East ones.
East one. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And similarly over here, over there in June, there it is coming from the southwest. So the southwest part receives heavy rainfall and the rainfall is decreasing towards the eastward. See over here, see the last line of June, rainfall decreases eastward. See over here, rainfall decreases westward.
Yes.
Underline that last sentence, rainfall decreases westward. Have you all understood this, children?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's time up. Shall we do the quiz?
Okay, ma'am.
Quickly.
Hmm.
Yes, let's do the quiz. Quickly, we'll do the quiz. Okay. Why does Africa has hot climate? Who will tell
Ma'am,
me?
equator passes.
Ma'am, lies in.
Ma'am, also it lies in the torrid zone.
Ma'am, we receive direct rays from sunlight, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. 3 options.
Very good. All of you all, excellent. Excellent. This shows you all have understood. Next is Mount Kilimanjaro is near the dash, but its summit
Equator.
Equator.
flat due to its altitude.
Equator.
Come on, quickly. Yeah, very good. You all have earned 20 euros. Excellent. The dash bring rain in winter to the extreme southern and northern parts of Africa.
Ma'am, west.
See, they haven't mentioned the month, no, ma'am.
Trade winds, ma'am.
Come on,
Ma'am,
this is
Trade
confusing.
winds.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, but they haven't mentioned
Let us
the
go
month,
with
ma'am.
trade winds. You will understand who's right or wrong. I won't reveal the answer. What do you want me to freeze?
Ma'am,
Trade
westerlies.
winds? Okay,
Westerlies.
fine. Let's freeze westerlies and see whether they are right or wrong.
Ma'am, they are correct.
Excellent. Keep it up. In June, the sun shines directly over the dash, and so the northern part of Africa experiences high summer.
Tropic of
Tropic
Cancer.
of Cancer.
Excellent. You'll have earned 40 euros. Keep it up. Next. And dash is a steady flow of surface water in a particular direction. It's
Ocean current.
Ocean current.
Very good. So you all have got 50 points. Very good, everyone. Keep it up.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.